Hey guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here, and today we're here to talk about the Thrunite Black Scout Survival Tactical Flashlight version 4. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so just so you know, I bought this flashlight several years ago when it first came out. I can't remember how long ago that was, but probably 2 to 3 years ago. If you're a gear reviewer, hit that like button if you have bought stuff and forgot to review it or put it off for so long you can't even believe it yourself. But let's go through the flashlight, why I got it, why I'm bringing it to you, the specs, everything, what I think about it, and then at the end I will show you a demo of it, and we will give you my final thoughts on do I recommend it and is it right for you. All right, so to start off with, let's give you a little run around. You got the Black Scout Survival symbol here. We'll do it this way so you can also see this. This is your side selector switch. As you see, there's a little dot there in the middle. When it is on, if it's blue, you know your battery is good. If it turns red, you know it's about to die. It also has a tail activation switch, as you can see right here, which this automatically goes to its maximum mode. You have 2 spots here that you could attach a lanyard to. Typically, especially for a light this size, I don't usually attach the lanyard, but I just did, and I've kept it on. They are useful, I will say that. I don't usually use a lanyard on my flashlights, but if you had it in your hand, you had it attached, and you're doing stuff and you had to let it go, or you dropped it for some reason, you're not going to lose it. So they are useful. It's just I usually don't like this dangling out of my pocket, but I have worn it this way ever since I got it, like I just have. So right here it is micro USB rechargeable. There's your port right there. You do have this rubber cover that goes over it, and I have discovered that charging it in the light itself is faster than charging it on a battery charger. Like I have one of those that you can charge 4 batteries at the same time. I have a lot of 18650s, and so usually that's what I do. But it does charge faster in the light itself. You do have an O-ring right here, and it does come with the battery. I'm pretty sure this is the one that it came with. I know it says WildTac. I rotate so many 18650s through so many different lights that I have. I can't remember if this is the one that it came with, but if it didn't, you can still use any 18650. I'm pretty sure it would probably have come with a Thrunite labeled battery, which could very well possibly be in a different flashlight, because like I said, I usually just rotate my batteries out as I'm charging them using different lights, because I have a lot of flashlights. Now you do have good knurling around the flashlight right here, as you can see. Good pocket clip. You have your like heat sink grooves right here to kind of help reduce heat on the flashlight, because this does get to be a pretty high lumen light. Now let's look at the box and see what you get when you get your flashlight. First and foremost, you get a holster. Now I will say it is Velcro, so all good. You do have a clip right here that you could attach it in with a carabiner or some other way to a pack or whatever else you wanted to use. But you have also an open bottom, and I'll say a little bit more about that in just a minute. You will also get right here a red lens cap that will screw onto the flashlight, a strike bezel that will screw onto the flashlight. We'll cover all this in just a minute. Your owner's manual, micro USB cord to recharge. If you notice, I have not even untied this in several years because I have so many of these that I didn't need another one. But I keep it just so you know what comes in the box. Then you also have a replacement tail cap switch and some O-rings here. Now, all of that is awesome. I will get to showing you the owner's manual and the capabilities of the flashlight. So you have Firefly mode, which is 0.54 lumens, which will last for 56 days. Low, which is 33 lumens, which will last 45 hours and 42 minutes. Medium, which is 360 lumens, which will last 4.5 hours. High, which is 1,426 lumens, which will drop down to 634 as it gets hotter. So it will last for 130 seconds down to 150 minutes. Then you have turbo. This is kind of awesome. 2,523 lumens, which will drop down to 614 lumens. So the 2500 is going to be for 125 seconds, and then the 614, which will be 147 minutes. Then you have strobe, which is 1200 lumens at 210 minutes. Now the reason why you have these drop downs on these high modes is because your light will start to overheat, and this helps protect the light and not have it destroy itself or burn itself out. So distance 250 meters on maximum mode. Intensity is 15,750 candela on the maximum mode. Impact resistance 1.5 meter, and the waterproof rating is IPX8, which is 2 meters. So all of these specs, to me, my opinion, I've tested tons of lights. The specs on these are awesome. Now, I will go ahead and show you. So to demonstrate, like when you have, this is what the light will look like without any attachments on it. All you literally have to do is just thread, oops. I'm making this look awkward. There we go. So there's your strike bezel. So the reason why I like this one, that's a very aggressive strike bezel. So if you had to use this to defend yourself, to get somebody off of you or get them away from you, that is one of the best strike bezels on the market for it. Most of them are just a really low lumps around the edges that doesn't come off. The fact that that this is much more aggressive and removable, if you're traveling, going somewhere, or you just don't feel like you need it on there, you can take it off. So that is a massive plus for this flashlight. Next, the red lens. Comes in this tiny little plastic Ziploc bag, or Ziploc-ish. You're just going to screw this on as well. It's level, and there's a lot of good uses for a red light on a flashlight. And we'll kind of cover that a little bit more during the demo, but just so you know, like, and I'll show the lights in the demo part of this. I'm going to go to my garage just so you're aware. This is like the 7th, 8th clip that I have filmed, because I filmed multiples, had some technical difficulties, some parts that I just thought were trash and started over. I filmed last night and part of it didn't film at all because I guess I forgot to hit record. But this is the specs. This is what it looks like. I've literally been carrying this off and on. I mix it in with other, like I rotated in with other lights, but like for several years now. Like I said, I don't know, I literally can't remember how long I've had this. There is a version 5 out now. This is the 4. I don't know what the differences are because I haven't looked at the 5 yet. But I've always pushed for and encouraged people, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, to support those that you follow, right? So if you're watching people on YouTube, you're getting content for free. So my opinion is, if they're selling something, buy something from them, right? I've watched Black Scout Survival for a long time, and so when he came out with this light, I wanted to support him, and so this is why I bought it. Unfortunately, I've waited this long to review it, so that there's another version out. Like, that's on me. But I love his channel, want to support what he does. This light, as you can see, has a lot of capabilities on paper. So I was going to wait till tonight to film it again out in the woods, but my garage is dark enough now that we can get a good impression of what's the light capabilities are, and so that's where we're going to go today, so I can get the review out today and I don't have to wait till next week, because I try to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm trying my best to stick to that. So here we go. Stand by. Let's go to the garage and see what this light is capable of. Alright, so here we are in my garage. As you can see, it's kind of lit up right now. It's getting ready to get really dark. in the garage, not outside. But I want to show you the capabilities of this light, and I didn't want to have to wait till nighttime. I think this will be a good replacement for it. So stand by. All right, so if you hold the button down, it goes into Firefly mode. As you can see here, I am literally about a foot away from the camera. And so this is perfect if you need to read a map, if you're in your tent, or you're just somewhere where you don't need a whole lot of light to see what you're doing, but you don't want a whole lot of people seeing you and what you're doing from a distance, because red light does not carry near as far. Like, I'm literally shining this on myself, and I'm 2 feet from the camera now, and you can see my face a little bit, my shirt not so reflective, right? So that's a good thing. All right, sorry about the break in the video there. Dogs were getting ready to start barking because I could hear people walking by. But this is the red light in low mode. And so when you're in low mode, if you just hold the button down, it will change modes. But let's just show you what we're looking at here. My car is about 6 feet away. This is a 2-car garage, so if you kind of have an idea what the standard size of that, you can. Now, typically, a camera does not do justice what the flashlight is capable of. So if you watched any other flashlight reviews, you pretty much hear everybody kind of say the same thing. But as you can tell, you can pretty much do whatever you needed to do in a low light setting. This would be in your tent, around camp if you're trying to not be exposed. Around your house, I don't really see a whole lot of need except for walking through your house trying not to wake people up. But that's the low, so we'll hold down the button. Medium. And so as you can see, you could pretty much do anything around camp, like not just in your tent or not just map reading, that kind of stuff. Some short hiking, you wouldn't be able to see too far ahead of you in the dark, but like this, because you're getting some reflection off of the color of the wall because it's white. In an outdoor environment, this would look a little bit duller, you know, just because there's nothing or not much to reflect off of. Definitely nothing, what you would say, reflective, right? So we've got low, medium, high. I mean, this really lights up. This would literally, you could night hike with this easily. If you're a hunter, if you're hiking into your hunting location and you don't want every deer and animal in the vicinity to know you're coming, this is better just because you're not so lit up. It doesn't spill as far as white light does. Now, hold on, let me unscrew this. Let's go down to the lower mode and then see what the white light looks like. All right, so as we can see here, this is low mode with white light, so obviously far brighter, far beyond, like, way more capabilities of being able to do things at a short distance or around your house, looking for something in your car, doing something around camp. You're still at night gonna kind of blow out your night vision even on these low modes. So that's why the red is so helpful. But I'll tell you right now, almost every flashlight I own, I use almost exclusively in the lower modes, just because the capability is there. You can do whatever it is that you need to do. And I've said this over and over and over in many flashlight reviews. If you own a flashlight and you want to know how many lumens you need, you can pretty much do anything and everything you need to do. Night hike, anything around camp, anything around your house, you know, self-defense, all that stuff with 200 lumens as a max, because it's enough. Now, and also what I say is that if you can get more than that at a good price, then that's even better because now you have a higher capability. So let's go to the next mode. That's medium. I mean, yes, we're in an enclosed garage, but I'm just going to tell you, out in the field, this is more than what you need, but highly capable and just gives you extra added ability. And so low, medium, there you go, high. Look at that. I mean, holy crap. Like, you're just kind of getting ridiculous at this point. And so the tail cap activation is your automatic turbo. So now, I mean, it's a little harder to tell in here because like I said, cameras just do not do flashlights justice, but like this is like holding the sun in your hand. Only problem is it's not going to last very long because it's going to heat up pretty quickly. So, firefly mode. And the white light. So as you can see, once again, I'm only like 2 or 3 feet from the camera, but once again, this is meant for map reading and anything you have to do this really up close and or you don't want to be noticed, but it is still pretty effective to have a light that can do this. I use the firefly mode probably more than any other mode simply because I don't sleep a whole lot. And so when I'm going to go to bed, I want to be able to walk through the house to go upstairs to go to bed without having to turn on lights and potentially waking people up. And so this gets you through your house or through in any environment at a very close range pretty easily. So the 0.54 lumens is amazing for a firefly mode. Now, let me turn on the light. Give you my final thoughts. All right, so let's turn this way so you can actually see me. So what do I think of this light? Would I recommend it? All that kind of stuff. Love it. Love the modes and the ranges in the different modes, right? Because like some lights, there's huge differences in between the lumen levels and each mode. Since this has so many, oh, which I also didn't mention that there's a strobe mode. I never use it, so there we go. So strobe warning, a little bit too late. Does have a strobe mode. It doesn't have the SOS, don't really care about that. I like the strobe mode just because if you needed to blind an attacker to disorient them for a very short period of time to help yourself get away, that is awesome for it. Also the high mode, the tail cap switch. If someone was coming up on you and you could get to your light or you knew they were coming and you had your light in your hand, this is bam in their face and you're going to blind them to a point where all they're going to see is just white, right? Or yellow. Like they're just going to have this big spot in their vision. They're not going to be able to see what's going on. So it gives you a chance to either get to your knife, your gun, or get away, right? You have options here and that light provides it. With the strike bezel that it has, you also have the option of using that in a manner of self-defense. So blind them, couple of pops and then go, right? If that's what you feel like you need to do. If you feel like you need to stick around for whatever reason, I would recommend disengaging and going. Don't want the legal hassles, but at the same time, that strike bezel, the light combined, gets you stopping that person, blinding that person, gives you opportunity to get away and or engage further in a different manner if you need to. So overall, do I like this light? Yes, I absolutely love it. 18650 is my favorite battery. I have a whole bunch of flashlights that are in that. You almost can't go more than 10 feet in my house, 20 feet in my house, then there's not a flashlight sitting somewhere. That's how many flashlights I have. That's how much I love them. And this one is at the top of the list. And again, I'm going to reiterate, I love the idea of supporting those you follow, right? If they're producing content that you're learning from and you're watching, being entertained by, and you're getting for free, well, why not help them out and purchase something from them that they're selling, whether it's a product or a service, right? Either way, I'm all on board. Everything I do, I follow Nine Line. I bought a bunch of their shirts. I even became a brand ambassador because I like their products so much and how much they help veterans. There's so much I could just go on, like so many products that I've bought. I mention it all the time. So I hope you do the same and follow along with supporting those you follow. So guys, if you like this kind of content, please hit that like button. It really tremendously helps the channel. Leave a comment. Do you like the light? Do you hate the light? What would you change about the light? The only thing I would change, oh, so let me get to this real quick. And I would say leave this in the comments below as well. The only complaint I have is there's nowhere to store the red lens cap or the strike bezel when you're not using them. My thinking is that if they made that holster completely enclosed down at the bottom, you could easily keep one or both in there. And so if you're wearing it on your belt and you don't need them, you would have them down there and you don't have to worry about them falling out or losing them or keeping them in a pouch or pack or some additional space where you may or may not lose them, right? Or just not be able to get to them very quickly if you needed to. So if I have a critique, that's a critique. The holster that they have for it, I don't understand why it wasn't completely enclosed, because if it was, that would change the game tremendously. You know, if it had like a tiny pouch, so at least you could slide in that little red lens cap. I mean, this is really thin, right? You could put a tiny pouch on that to at least keep that in there. And so if the strike bezel is attached, you could have it down. I would still definitely prefer that the whole holster was enclosed. My personal preference, that's all that is. Any critique that I would have to give, that's what it would be. Other than that, the light itself is fantastic. The lumen levels are awesome. So, as I was saying, you know, like, comment, tell me what you think, critiques, likes, all that kind of stuff. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I've got tons of flashlights and knives and hiking trips coming up, all kinds of gear reviews and hiking, camping videos that are going to be coming out. I got a lot planned, so if you want to catch them and you want to see what's coming out, also hit that notification bell. That will notify you whenever I'm producing something new, and hopefully you will enjoy it. And I hope you like this video. Thanks for your support and all these views. And in the meantime, guys, be prepared, have fun, and check out the Thrunite Black Scout Survival flashlight.